Sorry? These? Oh, I'm making brooches. I'm a Thatcher. Sorry? Dogging? I don't know what you're on about. Come on. Corona and everything. You can't go dogging now. It's definitely against the rules. Do I know anything? Who you been talking to? Oh, you saw me in Edinburgh. Okay, yeah. I'm the Thatcher that did the dogging show. Yeah. Really? You want to hear it now? I'm working. You know, staying at home, keeping safe, protecting the NHS, helping the Tories out. Fuckers. Sorry. Really? It'll cheer you up. A show about dogging. Guess. Do it for who? Sorry? For all the doggers out there who can't be going. I guess. I don't really know you. I can't just go straight into dogging, can I? That's, you know, get out there, get naked, bang, bang, bang. That's not really the way. I didn't really want to take a dogging show to Edinburgh 3 times at all, to be honest. I wanted to be a political poet. I wanted to, you know, say big things, talk about big issues, you know. All my friends at the moment are writing, you know, pandemic poetry. It's just what we all really fucking want. I can't, you know, truth be told, I tried to write a poem about, you know, the rise of right-wing nationalism, about, you know, the fact that 4 million kids in Britain are living in poverty, all these big fucking issues. I got bored, to be honest. I just went down the Toby Carvery. I could do a poem about that. Really? All right. Okay. Now? All right. So I'm sat there in a Toby Carvery, trying to write some crisis poetry, and obviously have a carvery. So mine will be meat free. An old couple sit opposite me, table number 2, and they're both wearing really smart shoes, and well, she's got this lump which I choose not to look at because well, it's rude to look at someone with a lump on their neck, bulging like the abdomen of an insect. I fit them behind a scarf that's more purple than red, and I'm not sure I want to have my food yet. I keep stealing glimpses of the bulging mass halfway out on her shoulder pad. Surely the doctors can see that. The NHS can't be that bad. But thankfully the old couple with the nice shoes soon leave, and well, I queue up and go and get my food, you know, all meat free, just cabbage, peas, potato and gravy. It's only when I sit down that I remember the poetry. Fuck it, my mood turns sour as I gaze upon this potato tower, the gravy falling like a chocolate shower, causing a crisis neath the cauliflower, but I can't resist the smell. And I can feel the page shout and yell, "You're going straight to poetry hell," but I eat and I eat and I eat and I swell until another couple come to table number 2. He's a geezer with a neck tattoo. She's got like old and tired shoes, and well, he talks too much, as geezers do. Talks so much that he shakes my pen, and I've barely even touched my plate by then. And I've tried to write a word or 10 on who and what and why and when, but the tone within his chilling voice, it sits on me like those bully boys. Quite simply, the most annoying noise as he complains his turkey's moist. Except he can't find a word. So he clicks aggressively at his bird. Ah, what the fuck is that word? Moist! I screams of the whole pub berserks. Then his eyes look back at me. His fork falling flat and splashing up the gravy. His plate's still full and not meat free. What the fuck did you say to me? Moist. That's the word you want. And I desperately want to add the word you cut. A suffix on a dull sentence just to see what happens next. But then his eyes shift from my face and it's then that his confusion wakes. He just doesn't know what to make. You've got no meat on your plate. Then his eyes look back at me. The anger lost like it's never been. A question building like the sullen sea. What the fuck are you doing in a carvery? Then I admitted I was writing poetry. About a crisis that's never been. Because, well, for the most part I've been lucky. I'm just one of those people that's generally happy. And neither of us knew what to do then. Him with his moist turkey and me with my pen. But suddenly I realised how this poem would end. Not with a crisis, but with a friend. Because in truth I quite liked his neck tattoo. And when his girlfriend smiled, you could see her bloom. It was like sunshine in a darkened room. Ever noticed we had the same shoes? I never found a crisis in the carver. But I learnt one thing about me. I live in a glass house and I'm guilty of just throwing out stones when it suits me. So I put up my chair at table number 2. Me and Gary laughing about having the same shoes. Till he introduced me to his wife Sue. Her name in a heart. And his neck tattoo. Sorry? You liked it? Oh, phew, good. No, it's not dogging. No, you're keen, are you? You want to get straight into it. You want to learn. Well, I do know a lot. Obviously, I had to do a lot of research for the show, and I have lots of dirty, horrible poetry about shagging and you sure I'm not comfortable yet, really, with you, to be honest, just to go straight in with a stranger dogging. I mean, believe it or not, I studied poetry, and at university they used to say, if you really want to, share something deep and meaningful with your audience, you should tell them a story about yourself. You should, open up, tell them about when you were young or something happened to you. So maybe we do that, and then we can get naked, jump into the dogging, bang bang, have it, go for it. And 2 meter rule, but we'll work around it, yeah. So you do that. Cool. Well, do you remember that? Do you remember that time when you were 12 years old and you first went to big school, and if you're really lucky, your mum was like switched on, or your dad, modern times obviously, and she sent you with the right clothes, all dressed up, the right shoes. And if you're like me with my mum, who I love dearly, if you're like me, you were sent to school with sad trainers. This is a poem about sad trainers. You got sad trainers and a fucked up face. Your mum's a whore and your dad's not your dad, mate. The postman came round and did your mum. You don't come from your dad, but a post office run. I was 12 years old when I heard that news. I was surprised to find that of all the abuse of my mum and my dad and the mark on my head, it was having sad trainers that kept me awake in my bed. Why were they sad? How to be cool? I was 12 years old and I'd lost my youth. Mum had brought the trainers from a market stall. The man swearing blind, they all wear them at school. I wasn't so sure as she brought them home. Velcro is better till you can tie your own. But what is this name stitched to the side? They're made in Taiwan, so you know they're all right. But I've never heard of this make, nor seen them before. But she said they were great. She said she was sure, and who was I to disbelieve this tale? But she was my mum and had never failed to just pick me up as I fell down or make me laugh inside or out. She'd steered me through 12 years of life like the heated steel of a missile strike. Never missing, never wrong, but with one decision, perfect record gone. You got sad trainers, you stupid poof. Are you disabled, got a club foot? You got sad trainers, you fucking gay. Went the abuse day after day. And yes, I felt helpless. Cold as a stone, as I hid anywhere they would leave me alone, but they would find me. The ones in the Nikes, the Reebok pumps and the Adidas stripes. You got sad trainers, you little bitch. And they'd attack with stones and with sticks. But despite all the beatings and the bruises they left, it was the names that they called me that left me bereft. Bereft of the innocence that's taken away with the foolish words that children say. Little remarks that they don't understand, that they learnt at home from their old man. Just the smallest of words turned to be cruel. Divide and conquer and divide and rule. It was a Monday morning when I finally broke. Who knew the depths that words could provoke? I was sitting alone at the back of the field when me and my trainers were spotted, revealed. 3 of them came, 2 bigger than me, sticks at the ready and Nikes on their feet. Oi, sad trainers, get over here. You gonna hide? Look, boys, a tear. You gonna cry? Told you's a puff. It was then that I broke. Then I took up arms against my foe. It was the coldest day I've ever known. I caught the first square in the chest, my burst-stained head smacking his breast. The top of my skull smashing his chin as he tumbled away, the grass catching him. The second protagonist turned in fear, the courage of one who fights in the rear. But I tripped him up as he turned to flee, and I jumped on him with a savage glee, pulling hair and biting flesh. Soon his face a bloody mess of tears and fear and childhood pains. I smashed his face again and again, until I felt a rasping blow. A kick to the head and a halcyon glow, and a cheek imprinted with a Nike logo. Oh, you sad trainers, you puff, you gay. As he'd christened me on that first school day. Now you're gonna fucking die. And he came at me with death in his eyes. He hit me with his hardest blow, felling me like the tallest oak. There was blood gushing hot across my scalp. Now I would die, he had no doubt, but I stood before he hit me twice, sure of foot and so alive, and I beat him till his tears ran dry. My blood and his on my Nikes, until I finally felt it done. I had sad trainers, but I'd won. That's the only fight I've ever had. I bought my own shoes after that. And despite the questions Mum churned out, I never ever let her know what the fight was about. I never ever let her know that it was the trainers that had bloodied my nose, that the Velcro straps from the market stall weren't a bargain after all. I learned a lot from those painful days. This ain't a poem about how good prevails. It didn't Didn't stop kids finding the place to stick in the words to make my heart break. Didn't stop loneliness. Didn't stop fear. All it changed with the shoes I'd wear. And the fight itself, just a moment in time when I broke in body and spirit, in mind. A moment of such sheer surprise. I don't think I've ever really healed inside. And even now they sit with me. Their bloody face is all I see. My fists all sticky, bloody red as I threw my trainers behind the cricket shed. Walking home in unpaired socks. Clotted blood in my mousy locks. It's over 20 years since that fight. Sticks and stones and the crisp sunlight. Blood upon a cricket pitch. And a pair of trainers flung in a ditch. 20 years, and what have I learnt? Just one simple rule about getting hurt. Follow the rules, borrow the gear, do as you're told, you've nothing to fear. Be as a robot marching in line heavy with logos displayed all the time. Better be an idiot than a man with a thought. Better buy Nike than a dodgy import. Better be cool, be in with a man. Bury your hopes, your dreams, your plans. And that all seems so simple. Till I became a dad. How'd you kill dreams you've never had? So what will I do with these children of mine when they're 12 years old and there comes a time when I must decide the trainers they wear? Will I deny them a pair of Nike Air? Will I stand up against those materialist gods and have my children run home to me in sobs? Or will I buy them the latest fads that they hold the sticks and judge what's sad? I've got sad trainers and a fucked up face. 2 beautiful children with a life yet to make. I'm their guide, their rock in a storm, and I've been making mistakes since the day they were born. Because I'm still that kid who threw his trainers away. Maybe, just maybe, I'll find them someday. So dogging, yeah, you're up for it. Go. You're not now, because I just did a poem about bullying, and I made you cry. Sorry, I low, yeah. Sorry, you wanted dogging, didn't you? Want hot sex, and I've done a poem about carvery and a poem about bullying. Yes. Well, to tell you, why don't I tell you, give you a little, starter, a little entree about dogging. Give you a bit of information, just get you warmed up a bit. No? Yeah. Have you heard that? What do you know about it then? Anything? Nothing. What about seagulling? Have you've not heard of seagulling? Okay. Shit. I don't want to tell you now. Feel a bit awkward. I mean, I could do it in like physical art form. That's much easier, isn't it? Really. Then I don't have to speak the word. So imagine you're out dogging. You're in the Suffolk countryside. It's beautiful. Summer's evening. You're in a lay-by, some woods. Ford Capri. Sort of 1980s, mint blue. You have mint blue? I don't know. Beautiful. Well looked after. 2 people in the car. Banging. Loving it. Having a great time. Doors are closed. If doors are open, you're allowed to jump in. But no, their doors are closed, so they just want to watch. If the window's down, you can stick your hand in and have a feel. If, a big pumping white arse is your thing. But no, the windows are closed. So, and there's a few of us standing around having a watch, just getting it on, having fun. And there's the windscreen there, and this is going to be the physical art form. So we're getting it on, having a great time. Boom, boom, boom. Seagulling! No, disgust. You're disgusted. Sorry. Yeah, it wasn't. No. Shit. Well, I know what I do now. Because well, the rest of the poems are more disgusting than that. And if you can't, you don't want to hear about that. No. What do you want to hear about? About what I'm going through? What during Corona? What's happening? Well, it's tough, you know. I know a lot of people, especially people working in the NHS and on the front line, are missing their kids. They're not allowed to see their. I'm lucky I can just about see my kids still. But I got a poem about my son. I know it's not appropriate to do a poem about your son when you're doing a dogging show, and you've just explained what seagulling is. But that's where we are at the moment, to be honest. Yeah. So shall I do this? Then we can jump back in the dogging a bit more. Yeah, no, it is weird to talk a poem about my son and dogging, but we're fucked, aren't we? Okay, I'll stop talking. I'll go. It's called a chess game with my 7-year-old son. The thing is, every part of me is screaming, let him win. He's 7. I'm 38. I should let him win. I know I should. Isn't that what good dads do? You know, give him a chance. The thing is, my dad never let me win. My dad was a good dad, but he never let me win, and it didn't do me any harm. At least, I don't think it did. Well, if I'm not going to let my son win, I should probably make it close. You know, play along a bit, draw the game out. I mean, it'll be good for the boy to lose. You know, toughen him up a bit. You have to learn to lose in life. That's what my dad used to say. And I'm really good at losing. After all, life is a lesson. One full of disappointments. And surely the sooner my son learns that, the better. If I don't break his heart, then someone else will. Maybe innocence is overrated. Preparation, that's what they say. And he moves rook to a3. I'm preparing him for the world, because the world isn't innocent. The world isn't full of fairies. You can't still be dancing on the street at your age. Stop being so silly. Sit up, sit still, put that down. Father Christmas doesn't fucking exist. Game's nearly over. I'll be a good dad. I must. It's for him. And then I look across the kitchen table, scattered with colouring books and half-eaten fruit. And I see my 7-year-old son. The fairies dancing in his soft brown eyes. This bundle of innocence with long lashes and full lips, just like his mum. This boy I've spent 7 years and a whole lifetime before just growing and protecting. The boy I've refused to allow the world to cow, to diminish, to prepare. This boy I've been a fairy for. With a fuzzy jawline and a silly hat, and he for me with his long hair that his granny really wants to cut, and his Lego building, and the way he taught himself to read. I want my boy to believe in fairies to the day he dies. just like I do. Because I still dance in the street even at my age. Because I can't sit still. Because if there's one thing, one word that sums me up, it's silly. And no, I won't stop. It's his move. Queen to C7. And he smiles up at me, my little fairy. Smiles up and says, "Daddy." And tears hang on the edge of my eyes. As love I have for this little innocent fella just threatens to overwhelm me. "Daddy." "Yes, Rufus." "What is it, my love?" "It's checkmate." So you play chess as well? Oh. Yeah, no, Rufus is brilliant. Fabulous. Yeah, going out. Yeah, dogging. No, I brought the tone down. You've come in for a dogging show, and so far I've done bullying, carvery, and now a poem, and now you're missing your kids and made them sad. Yeah, I can't. I've got some really dirty sexual poetry. I mean, just banging stuff to get you off like you wouldn't believe. And no, it's not. No, the tone's all wrong now to jump. Yeah, you're right. Fuck. I don't know what to do. I'll tell you what. I'll do a poem now just to bring the tone back up, and then we'll get into the dogging. You know, I've saved it to the end. It's like a dogging crescendo where we'll all just run back out into the street and dog 2 meters away. You know, as we do talking, but dogging, safety with our goggles on and shit. Yeah, so yeah, I'll bring the tone up now. Okay. I don't know about you, but I perform quite a lot. Not at the moment, obviously, but I always find the best thing if you've lost a room, and I've lost hundreds of rooms, to be honest. The best thing to do is if you're in a crisis when the room isn't listening to you and is really down, is do a poem about God. No, you don't agree. You're not religious. Fuck. Not, you know, it's all I got. So as you're fuck, I've got to do it. So God, dogging crescendo, out in the street, everyone having fun. Sound good? Okay. Oh, well, this is called Meeting the Dead Man then. The room was musty cold, barbaric. And I thought the fella dead. He looked at me as I stepped in. "Sit down," the dead man said. "Your name?" he asked in a tired tone with a face of peeling skin. "It's Ollie," I said, and I'm from a little place, and some fella has just brought me in. "Do you know where you are?" he said. "Nah, I'm not sure." And I saw annoyance in his eyes. "Jesus," he said under his breath, but, well, he wasn't the cause this time. It was some fella rushing home from work to see his week-old son who'd hit me as I crossed the road out on an evening's run. "You're dead," he said from behind the desk. "Some fella ran you down, and, well, this is just a little interview to see where you go now." I didn't take it in at first, the fact that I was dead. Worried by the sickly tone of the words he'd just said. What do you mean where I go? I mean, is there still some doubt? I know I ain't the religious type. What's this all about? Is heaven getting picky now? Are the angels getting pissed because St. Peter's building shanty towns and I'm not on the list? I'm not some fucking criminal. I mean, God knows I'm no saint, but... Well, if there's a doubt about where I'm going, I need to make a complaint. "Just the way it is," he said. "The way a modern man. We get a lot of calls these days. It hasn't gone as it was planned. Capacity's at its maximum. We We just can't keep up the pace. There's just so many of you dying now. We've gone and run out of space. Fuck, was all that came to mind. As I stood shivering at his desk. What now, I asked, and he replied, well, it's just a little test. Do you believe in God, he asked. Of course I fucking do. I'm standing in his guardhouse being judged by a prick like you. I meant when you were lower, on Earth's volcanic crust. Were you a God believer? Did you give him all your trust? Well, no, of course I didn't, but how was I to know? You know, Darwin, he made so much sense with his pigeon manifesto. I mean, God was just a story, a tale we told ourselves to fight away the growing fear of those ringing death knell bells. And all the Jesus on the cross stuff, turning water into wine. Fuck, it was just a bit of banter, help us pass the time. Of course I didn't believe in God. No one did where I was from. We all believed in science. The origin of man came from our cesspool. Started with a bang. You failed the test, he said. But I can't let you in. And it's too late to change your mind. And besides, it's all your sin. And so as heaven barred its doors to me, I turned to look around and I saw a sign saying, welcome, and an arrow pointing down. Down I went the spiral stairs, cold and stony hard, slipping on the rotted corpse of some famous Stratford bard. And on reaching where they led me to a room lit with roaring fire, I staggered when I saw him, because God had now retired. It's full up there, he said to me, full of fucking pricks. So I left it all to Peter and the 11 other dicks. They're the ones who built it, bought the fucking land. I always fancied a hammock between two trees upon the sand. Just me and a little ocean, coconuts to eat. A fire in the evening and just sandals on my feet. But they said I needed kingdoms, walls and pearly gates to keep out all these sinners and all their burly mates. How do you judge a sinner? It's not as black and white as some fella up a mountain or 40 days and nights. They took my only boy, He was barely 33. They stuck him on a wooden cross and they hammered nails into his feet. And now they keep him hung on walls in churches, houses, shopping malls, and they pray to him for so much shit. I'm not surprised he had enough of it. He jumped from off those pearly gates back in 1588. Bugger me if I don't miss that kid. You'd never believe the things he did. God stopped talking then, looking back towards his fire. And I was loath to ask him any more, but I felt this unquenchable desire to just sit and offer him my time, a bit of silent company. Because, well, he reminded me of my granddad, and I thought that's what he'd need. I never did get into heaven. In fact, I'm still sitting by that fire. Been sitting there for quite some time, but I haven't yet got tired, because there's a thing or two I've picked up sitting silently with God. Like to err is simply human, and to forgive's a real job. To love, well, that's a piece of cake, and to hate's a waste of time, and to live a full and wholesome life is It's the dirtiest of crimes. Because none of us are white. None of us are clean. And to set our sights so fucking high is frankly quite obscene. Better to aim lower. Try to be good more than bad. Try to make a few more people happy and maybe one or two less sad. Try to be the sort of man that just sits beside a flame. Happy with the warmth. Happy to be out of the rain. God wasn't you pick me up. I'm sorry. Fuck. Sorry, yeah, I know. I've just done over 30 minutes of a dogging show and I haven't really done much sex. Sorry, yeah, I've got you in. Yes, false pretentious, really. You all came for the dogging, bang bang, and I've tried to. Sorry. Dogging now, big crescendo. We'll go out in the street. We'll finish it. Everyone happy? Not report me to trading standards or. Sorry, I know. Yeah. Well, I mean, you should. I mean, I did the show in Edinburgh, obviously. I've done it for 3 years in Edinburgh. You should see the faces of some of those people. You know, coming in on a Saturday night with their boy, drinking, dogging, yeah. And then I do a bullying poem. Yeah, no. So, anyway, what can I say? That was most of the dogging show. This is the big crescendo. We'll get to it. Everyone at home, I'm not expecting anyone to bloody watch this. This is just for a bit of fun. If you do watch it, stay safe, stay healthy, try not to go fucking mental. It's hard work, doing whatever you're doing. I'm sure everyone's trying hard. I'll see you on the other side, I guess. This is the title poem of my show. It's called Thatcher's Guide to Dogging in Bungay. Now, I'm just a simple Thatcher, searching out a life. But the choices that I make aren't just black and white. I'm searching out the grey where the other people live. How they find their fun and where they get their kicks. So I'm going to tell you all a little tale about two people who were lost. So captured in the black and white that they couldn't see the cost. To the day it finally came. And they had to make a choice. Would they stay the same or would they find their voice? It's fun because it's forbidden, said Gary who lived down the road. Me and the wife go out once a month, except in winter when it's cold. I mean, I never expected to be doing this when we got married back in '84, but well, you know, life likes to take its toll and just add on a little more. We were fucking wild for each other back then. Her especially. She used to wear these fake nails and by the end my back would bleed. Christ, we couldn't get enough. We'd do it almost anywhere. That little something magical, those early days of touch. Those early days when you explore the parts that others cannot see, when you're just lost inside another unconditionally. When everything is new and just continues to expand, and well, you think your heart will burst, but you just don't give a damn. When you see in her eyes that shimmering flame for you, and you kiss her yet again because you know she wants you to. God, that is a feeling. It's really something else to love and to be loved and to feel and to be felt. We all know the story. It's a tale as old as time. When the kiddies come along, those bells no longer chime. And life, it adds its layers, it sticks its grubby fingers in till you're so weighed down by it you've forgotten how to swim. And yes, there's those fleeting memories that are just candle width apart. But it's just shade lost in the dark. You know, our well, it never ran empty, but at times it ran pretty dry. And I can tell you there were thoughts, and I can tell you there were times, and me and I got through it. We both did some silly things, but regret is simply anger that's a time to rest its wings. That's when all this started, this going out at night to a spot out by some woods. It's just past the BP garage and then the second right. We were trying to recapture that thing we both had lost, those animal desires that had turned us into us. I remember looking round on the day our youngest left. Not recognising the woman crying on the steps. Could this really be the girl who would rip my back to shreds? Could this really be the girl who would kiss me while I bled? That could have been the point that we just called it quits. Divvied up the house, the books and the other bits. But there was something in her eyes late one summer's night as we sat out in the garden, too tired to even fight. Something in her eyes, just the smallest little flame that said we had to try. Had to try again. We had to take a risk and be damned at what they think, because our world was on the edge. Our world was on the brink. I remember I just asked, cold and plain as brass, Do you think you want to do it? Here out on the grass. She looked at me a moment, her glasses resting on her nose, before putting down her book and just unbuttoning her clothes. We were naked in a second. The years just fell away as the clothes fell on the grass I'd cut and dug and sprayed. We'd spent so many days just hiding from her wrath, and where she sat upon me now, just arching up her back. In the days that seemed to follow, the grass grew rough and long, and it was 2 weeks till I got the mower out, just whistling a song, as I skipped across the lawn, happy as I worked, till the wife came out again in just a tie and an old work shirt. That's how all this started. We just began to play around. And we've never been as happy doing the things that we do now. And dogging? Well, it's all just a part of it. A bit of raconteur. Just mixed up with all the other stuff we're all first to endure. It's just that simple feeling we finally escaped all that fucking crap waiting at the gate. I'm not an exhibitionist, but it gives the wife a thrill to know there's someone watching in that car park on that hill, in the lay-by by the hazel trees where the Thatchers get their wood, or in the field behind the golf club where the chairman likes to look. Do you know there's 10 commandments and a dogging dictionary? Thou shalt not touch uninvited, and pick up your condoms before you leave. Don't block the view of others, and respect a lady's right to know, and it's handy to have wet wipes and a jumper and gloves when it's cold. And yes, I know it's odd to have sex while others watch, but who are you to judge the things that get others off? Because Because it's only when you free yourself, see the dark beneath the stairs, that the monster you're all scared of just up and disappears. You have to seek the something that's missing from your life. And all you'll end up doing is living till you die. For us, it's the adventure. Chance to see the countryside. Park up in a lane and make love and feel alive. And yes, there's others watching, and occasionally they touch, but it's only when invited, because honestly, they're really a polite bunch. I'm not saying dogging is the answer. That is some magic key to life. Well, it saved my marriage, and it gave me back my wife. I guess that all I'm saying, if I've got anything to say, is that don't think that you're safe because you don't go out and play. Don't hide from what is out there. Just grab it by the balls. And if someone wants to watch, then hooray. Fuck them all. Stay safe, everybody. Thanks for watching.